Alright everyone, my name is Jean Michael, and right now, so this is actually the window of my basement, and you see this big ring thing. This is actually to protect the window, but sadly a lot of frogs actually go to it, and they actually cannot get out of it, and they pretty much just get stuck, and if I do nothing they die. And there is one frog right there. So when I say I save frogs, this is what I mean. None of the frogs you've seen me collect the entire summer, they were not from the wild. They were frogs like this little guy trapped in there, and if I do nothing they pretty much die from hunger, dies a lack of water, or simply because those frogs become really hot during hot days in summer, and they pretty much die from that too. So I'm going to pick up really gently this frog. Okay, I'm not applying too much pressure on it. Sorry, pretty hard to catch it. Alright, there we go. So we have a new frog. And yeah, pretty much this is how I literally saved those frogs. So now what I do with this frog is I put it in the low-tech paludarium. Okay, so right now the low-tech paludarium is full of water. So first of all, this frog it is going to swim in there for a while, but I'm going to reduce the amount of water and actually clean a little bit this bucket. Don't worry, the frog will survive. As you can see right now, she's like kind of floating. But remember Dee Dee was doing that same behavior, and then she ended up surviving. So starting now, I'm not going to keep those frogs really long, just long enough to make them recovery, and then put them back into the wild where they belong. So really, keeping a frog in this bucket, or two frogs, I know the bucket isn't big, and this is why it is not meant to be a long-term resident of this bucket. I always do a switching motion where I collect new frogs and I release the other ones, allowing a lot of frogs to actually survive. So this is our new frog. If you have any suggestion of name, please say it. But you can clearly see that if I was to release this frog right now in the nature where there is a lot of predators, so blue heron, some fish like sunfish, and well, other predators that can lurk in the body of water, where, well, actually the lake, they could be really dangerous for this frog at this state. But especially snakes, there is a lot of snakes where I actually release the frogs. It is natural for frogs to have a lot of predators, but if I release that frog that is literally just having a hard time just to float, imagine the difficulty this frog would have to be escaping a snake. So yeah, actually he is struggling so much that I will have to put him in another bucket just for now, so he can just breathe a little now that he have been hydrated enough. So really, I'm super gentle, okay? I'm applying not pressure at all on the skin of the frog, because the frogs really breathe and hydrate themselves with their skin. So I really have to be gentle. I'm not like holding her leg or anything. I literally just allow the frog to climb, and then I just close my hand like that so it don't escape, but I'm not like squeezing it or anything, so I'm not damaging his skin. So I'm going to put it back here where there is a little bit of water while I pretty much just clean up the bucket for now. But basically I'm not going to keep this frog for too long, just long enough for it to recover from his lack of water and lack of food, and then I just release it back into the wild. So I've done that with all my frogs so far this summer. None of the frogs I kept for this summer were wild caught. They were all prisoners of this of the kind of trap that my backyard offered. And the reason why there is so much frogs and other animals really in my backyard is because I'm pretty much at really close to the rest of the forest. So basically, when there is a lot of rain, frogs and other amphibian and other animals that really like water and rain, they all come out and they just explore to get some food, and sometimes boom, they end up being in my backyard. Same goes for my little newt. I didn't collect it in the forest, I actually collected it directly in front of my house where she had no place to be. And like this frog, the newt will go back in the wild in a few days. But that's a subject for another video. I just hope everyone understand what I'm doing, so I'm not hurting the frog in any way. I'm actually helping it recover before I set it back into the wild, because I believe it wouldn't be fair for this frog to go immediately back into the wild. Maybe she's even going to die if the damage were too big, and in that case what I do is I actually dispose the body for the millipede and other insect in there to eat. And well, not a lot of insect actually, more like millipedes and other invertebrate. Oh, alright, never mind. I thought I saw something cool, but yeah, no, just a dead bug. Oh. But in here we have, I kept the cricket, the cricket. So he's a male, and I often hear him sing. So contrary to the locust, which were doing really bad in captivity, he's doing really fine, especially in an environment like this one. He is more terrestrial than the locusts, which are more apt to jump, let's just say, and explore the wild. Cricket prefer a darker place, and you know, the floor of the forest, which is represented by this vivarium. So there is a lot of moss, there is a lot of stick of wood, there is a lot of dead leaves, and everything. So this cricket will be fine in here, and he might end up being the food of the frog if I'm too lazy. This is all natural, obviously. Everyone feed their lizard and other reptiles with some cricket. This is just the wild version of a cricket. But yeah, well, I hope that frog isn't drowning right now. But basically this might be what, oh yeah, she's not doing really well. That often happen, that the wildcat, well, not the wildcat, sorry, the frogs that I get, they are so dehydrated and everything that they just don't make it. But I have some hope for this one. I might just keep it in this bucket for a day or two, simply because there is like really shallow water compared to the native bucket where not the native bucket, sorry, the low-tech paludarium, where if she jumps in the water and she's not able to climb back on the rock like healthy frogs are able to do, that might cause a problem for this frog. But yeah, basically I'm pretty much just helping frogs and other animals to gain some mass before I put them back into the wild. This is what I've done all summer long, and yeah, this is pretty much what I've done all my life. So yeah, hope this little frog will do alright. So if you have any name for it, actually I'm going to name her Hope, because I hope she make it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you real soon. Ciao!